Jacob Markstrom trade rumors just continue to absolutely skyrocket. They will not stop escalating, and we have a huge update once again from the 32 Thoughts podcast from Elliotte Friedman himself, the esteemed NHL insider, and he's brought us a big Flames trade update about where the Flames might be at in their trade talks involving Jacob Markstrom, and you are not going to want to miss this update. But before we get into that, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames, and we would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. But without further ado, let's talk about how these Marky trade rumors are just skyrocketing, and to be quite frank with you, that is just the absolute truth. They are skyrocketing once again, and we have been talking about Jacob Markstrom trade rumors forever, it seems, on this channel. For months and months, since before the trade deadline. We all know what went down with New Jersey and how Markstrom might be unhappy about it, but either way, there's all really just been rumors at some points, but now we have something that has kind of made it a little bit more concrete and solidified some of these rumors coming from Friedman, and of course, the NHL Combine that just went down in Buffalo. And what does that mean? That means the media has had a chance to talk to some of these managers, and of course the prospects as well. Most recent video on the channel is about TJ Ginla. If you missed that one, please go back and watch it. It was a banger. But either way, the media has had a chance to talk to some of these managers, and of course that involves Craig Conroy. And I think the guys from the 32 Thoughts podcast have directly spoken to him and tried to, weasel out some of that juicy, steamy content that we really are craving. And we want to know what's going on inside. But either way, I'll let this do a little bit more of the talking now. So let's talk about not that. My goodness, I'm bad with these buttons once again. Who would have thought? But either way, let's talk about this tweet here from NHL Trade Alert, 32 Thoughts podcast. Elliotte says, there's definitely something going on between Calgary and New Jersey on Markstrom. And we know stuff has been going on between these two teams and involving Markstrom, but that's kind of just been rumor and speculation all along. We now know that there are genuine concrete talks happening, and they have been happening at the Combine. I mean, anytime you're going to seat all the managers together, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have some trade talks, of course, but it's good to know that there's actually something legit going on here, and it's not just me spewing out rumors that I read on the internet. Let's continue the tweet here. Calgary is trying to keep things quiet. We'll get into that a little more later. But Elliotte goes on to mention Toronto and Ottawa as also interested, and that's another big update here because, again, it's not just speculation, it's not just rumor. Elliotte has been around these managers. Of course, that's Steve Staios from Ottawa, and of course, Brad Treliving from the Toronto Maple Leafs, who we know all too well. If they've been talking to Craig as well, and it's been involving Markstrom, it's very, very interesting, and those are legit rumors. They're confirmed, myth busted in a way, but it's very, very interesting. The other thing that I think really shows that a Markstrom trade will happen, and it's not just us talking about rumors, and guess what? No trade ever happens, and Markstrom's our number one goalie, is what is said right here. So Woodley from the In the Dome pod here, well, he was on Flames Talk, of course, but it's an In the Dome pod tweet. You guys know how to read a tweet. But either way, Woodley talking about Markstrom on Flames Talk. This is actually from a couple days ago. He wants to play somewhere else. I don't believe he has any intention of playing for the Calgary Flames again. And we all know what went down with New Jersey when Markstrom allegedly waived his no movement clause to go to New Jersey, and then the trade fell through. Markstrom was upset about that, and then he was upset that his name was dragged through the mud of the trade rumors. He was upset with management. And then the Flames kind of rode Dustin Wolf towards the end of the season anyway, kind of showing that they're ready for life beyond Markstrom anyway. And he's getting older. He probably wants to contend for a cup anyway. So either way, it totally makes sense, and his feelings are valid for not wanting to be in Calgary, but I think that just shows that a trade definitely will happen. So let's talk about the first team here. It's the team we always talk about, and it is, of course, the New Jersey Devils. Let's talk about a deal with the Devils, and it's very interesting that we always bring up this team, and guess what? They're right in the thick of it once again. But let's let Elliotte Friedman do some of the talking here again. So this is his first quote that I pulled from the 32 Thoughts podcast from today. Calgary is trying to do things quietly. Good luck with that. With all the media around and just everyone knowing the kind of status of these Markstrom trade rumors, it's so tough to keep things secret. We are going to get to the bottom of it, and it's just funny that he said good luck with that. Him and Jeff had a good chuckle about it, and I liked that quote. Now, the second one I liked here, and this one's big. We already kind of knew this, but he said Fitzgerald, who is of course Tom Fitzgerald, the GM of the Devils, has gone on the record and said he's considering moving the 10th overall pick. And that, once again, is a quote from Elliotte Friedman. That was originally reported by Pierre LeBrun a few days ago. We kind of knew that he was going to ignite trade talks and said that the 10th could be up for grabs. But either way, it's great to know that Elliotte has kind of confirmed this, because once again, Pierre LeBrun, it was more just a rumor at that point. Now we know that it is definitely on the table, and I think that's more so what Flames fans want in a trade anyway, would be to get, the 10th overall pick. So without further ado, once again, let's take a look here at the 2024 first round draft order. We know the Flames sit at 9th, and then of course right below us is the New Jersey Devils in 10th. And it would be an interesting trade involving Markstrom and the 10th pick. They will not go 1-for-1. The Flames would probably have to throw in something more. Maybe they'd throw in the 28th overall pick. That is, of course, originally Vancouver's. If there's salary retention involved, maybe the Devils would throw something in as well then. But either way, if the Flames do get that 9th pick and the 10th pick, oh my goodness, they could get a D-man and a forward and hopefully truly start building the future. And it's very, very exciting to think of. Once again, please let me know your mock trades down below on what you think could potentially happen down, in a trade with the New Jersey Devils, because it's sounding more and more likely as every day goes by. But we know about the Devils. We've talked about the Devils a ton. We could continue to talk about the Devils forever. I'm done talking about the Devils, I promise, for this video. Let's talk about the other big update here, which is, of course, the Ontario teams. Now, we've talked about Ottawa. We've talked about Toronto before, involving Jacob Markstrom in more detail. But to know that they're legit contenders to land Jacob Markstrom is interesting. And once again, it comes from Elliotte Friedman. It's not just me purely speculating. But either way, if I'm Ottawa, I don't go after Markstrom. He's not what they need. They would rather have, probably a right D-man like a Weegar or an Andersson, would probably be someone more so who they'd want to go after. They don't really want Markstrom, an older goalie who a lot of people think is very inconsistent, which is kind of true. Sorry, Marky. But either way, Toronto, on the other hand, could go after a goalie and could give quite a bit away. But in this video, we'll just talk about some of these draft picks. So if we go back to the 2024 draft order here, as you can see, Ottawa holds the 7th overall pick, and there has been a boatload of rumors going around about them trading that one for a Jacob Markstrom trade. I just don't see it being all that likely, to be quite honest. I think Ottawa's going to keep that 7th overall pick and probably draft either Parake or maybe Bouillon or whoever honestly is available as a defenseman, maybe even Yekemchuk. We will have to see. But if we go a little further down in the draft order here, as you can see, sticking with Ottawa first, they also have the 25th overall pick, which was from the Bruins and originally was the Bruins and came through Detroit, which is very, very interesting. So maybe that pick could be involved as well. And that's a pick worth acquiring because there are some good late first round prospects. I mean, we can say that in every draft year pretty much. We know the Flames have the 28th pick already, but if they added the 25th, or did some sort of swap involving those picks in a Markstrom trade, it could be very, very interesting. I won't make a full mock trade, but once again, let me know down below. Now, the other team, of course, is the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the pick that they have is the 23rd overall pick. And we know who their general manager is. It is Brad Treliving. He is the king of trading away first-round picks for pretty much peanuts. Would he do it again? I don't think so. I think the Leafs will definitely keep their first-round pick this year. They have more so a better prospect pool than a lot of teams do, and maybe they'd be more willing to trade a prospect in order to get an actual solid goaltender. On the 32 Thoughts podcast, again, Elliotte did say, a tandem of Markstrom and Woll could be really, really good and should be something that the Leafs should pursue. So either way, very, very interesting update all over the Markstrom board here, I guess we can call it. And I think it just proves that we will see a Markstrom trade, whether it involves retention, some of these top 10 picks, maybe some later round picks. We will just have to wait and see. But either way, it feels like this saga is getting closer to its end and we can all breathe again. I know I might be getting a little bit sick of talking about it, but it's just the biggest news involving the Flames. Now let's wrap up this video with, of course, the comment of the day. And I didn't do a video yesterday. Been quite a bit busy. Been going through some things, well, just regular life. But either way, I like this comment from a couple days ago. And it comes from our regular boy around here, Guitar Memoir. He said, as I have stated before, I don't favor trading up to take Tej. I would just like to watch it play out and take the best guy left on our list. I think trying to force it is when you make mistakes. And I've said it before, just like Guitar Memoir has as well, you have to draft with your head and not your heart, of course. It would be great to have TJ Ginla for just even in terms of ticket sales, jersey sales, and just an overall vibe at the Saddle Dome. But sometimes you got to do just what is best for the franchise. You got to think with the head, not the heart. Maybe a Berkeley Cat and maybe one of those defensemen would be a better way to go. We will just have to wait and see. But thank you so much for commenting that. I also want to thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.